This is a segment I like to call Shit Questions. Alright, here are some shit questions that were asked earlier today. Dane Nichols, have you or anyone you know in Australia saw a UFO? No, I've never seen a UFO, but I did get a Reiki massage from a toothless woman in Byron Bay who told me I came from a UFO. Tatsu Toby, 2 questions. 1, if your music could be translated to an old cartoon, don't care about the genre, which one would it be? An old cartoon. See, an old cartoon, what is old? Ren and Stimpy? Is that an old cartoon? Because if so, that would be my answer. If you were a pizza topping, which one would it be? A pizza topping. If I was a pizza topping, I guess I would be a mangled meat version of myself. I'd be me mangled into a pizza topping consistency, which would have to come from an industrial wood chipper or something, and then just put it on pizza. If I was a pizza topping, or do I get to be something other than what I am? It's complicated. Steve Rosell, who's a top fan, why are you such a cunt? Well, Steve, when you get complete strangers asking you why you're such a cunt, you tend to become a cunt. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Bo Moller Hansen, where do you get inspiration from? Caffeine, I'd say, and TV shows. Liam Thomas, if you could make any genre of video game, what type of game would you make? Good question. I would love to make a video game, and it would be a 2D side-scrolling kind of strategic game with some hand-to-hand combat. Much like a game I'm playing at the moment, which I'll review soon. T-Bomb Troy, what advice do you have for bands about how to promote and market themselves without feeling like a door-to-door salesman and just ending up alienating potential relationships? I think my advice would be to not look at marketing like you're trying to go up to a stranger and go, hey, can you buy or listen to this thing? That doesn't work. You've really got to sort of inspire people to want to get into your stuff, and I think the best way to do that is to try and make good stuff, and consider that if you're putting things out there into the world and no one's really getting into it, it's not because the marketing's not good. It's probably more likely because the product isn't good, and that's not personal, T-Bomb. I haven't heard your stuff, but I will say that musicians often confuse their enthusiasm for what they do with everyone else's enthusiasm for what they do. That's why I reckon this whole thing that I'm doing now is an experiment, because I wouldn't watch this shit. Joel Best. I guess it's a bit of a songwriting composing question. I've always struggled with coming up with riffs/songs or parts of songs that always come out sounding the same. What's the best way to get around this by inventing new riffs that aren't basically identical but all still sound like you? My advice there is, I honestly don't really write riffs. I try and write songs, and the difference is a song has some sort of objective. It's got a path that you're wanting to follow. When you sit down and just write random riffs, it can sometimes you can land on a corker and it's really cool, and other times it's aimless, sort of, whatever, and then you can call it prog and people go, sticking within a structure and understanding a little bit about the theory behind what you do, that's the way I approach it. I kind of always look at it like, I need to know how to get from A to B, and if I don't know what A or B is, I can't possibly navigate my way through that shit. Jason Barnes, while having a fucking awesome voice, your singer is very short. A 12-foot ninja is very tall. How do you reconcile the two? Well, our singer isn't a 12-foot ninja. Matt Allen, was there one moment before 12-foot started in particular that gave you the inspiration to blend together such diverse genres, or was it something you've always thought about? I started, I'm going to play you something. Let me find it.
Of vegetable nations, because all you want to do is munch down.
All my friends are insects and they say, do.
My first ever songs that I wrote when I was like in year 9 and I had 2 cassette decks. I honestly have just always written music that bashed concepts together. It wasn't really a conscious thing. Andy Jones, 12-foot ninja music videos and social media posts are always goofy and funny, but lyrically you're pretty serious. Got any thoughts about humor and music? Personally, I don't listen to music with comedy in it. Yeah, it just comes off, I don't know, I don't like it for some reason. I enjoy Flight of the Conchords and I enjoy their music, but I wouldn't put it on and listen to it for its music. I listen to music for the music, and I like comedy for the comedy. So I tend to prefer them separate. It's totally subjective. Thomas Calvert, are we going to see any more bedroom scenes with Ferret and the Sickos? Any chance Molly Meldrum can get involved? We don't hear much advertising for 12-foot ninja on the radio or television locally in Eastern Australia. Why is that? There's a lot of questions here, Thomas. What's your philosophy on promotion? Who's going to be on the 12-foot ninja team for Celebrity Lego Masters? I reckon 12-foot ninja would make a good grand final halftime entertainment, either AFL or NRL. Any chance of that happening, for fuck's sake? Are we going to see any more bedroom scenes with Ferret and the Sickos? You'd have to ask them. Any chance Molly Meldrum can get involved? You'd have to ask him. We don't hear much advertising for 12-foot ninja on the radio or television. It's because we don't advertise on radio and television. Why is that? That's why. What's your philosophy on promotion? I don't know if I have a philosophy on promotion. Who's going to be on the 12-foot ninja team for Celebrity Lego Masters? Well, I'm the only one that likes Lego in the band, so I guess me. I reckon 12-foot ninja would make good grand final halftime entertainment. Thanks. Probably will not happen. Mel Harbro, I'd love some bloody Stevic approved music recommendations. Extra points if they're Aussie bands. Alright, you probably know most of them. I don't know heaps of mega unknown Aussie bands, but a couple that come to mind just from Download Festival. Viada's Murder, I watched some of their set. I think they're the heaviest band I've ever heard. Fuck, it's heavy. I don't know how you would hear another band and go, that's heavier than Viada's Murder. It's like they've gone, we're going to be the heaviest band possible, and they are. I don't think you can get heavier than that. Someone's going to argue with me on that one, but I can't fucking hear it. If you can get heavier than Viada's Murder, I can't hear it. And heavier doesn't mean more noise. Like, they're heavy, and there's structure. They're all good players, and they were really cool. Polaris is kicking ass. Who else? There's fucking heaps. We just toured with Voyager. They're a great band. Good people. I don't know. Parthen Shiv. On a more serious note, I didn't get the first one. I'll be doing this backwards. Do you think living in Australia makes it harder to pursue music for a living, particularly in a progressive metal band paradigm, than if you lived in Europe or the US? Yes. The disadvantage is you're on an island in the middle of nowhere and you're quite isolated, and it costs heaps of money to leave with a band and a crew. Does the size population of the country make it harder to tour? Absolutely. In Europe and the US you can play pretty much every night of the week. It's not easy to gig during the week in Australia, and yeah, the population size does have a huge impact on it. A lot of people say there's so many awesome bands coming from Australia, and it's like, well, if they're not in Australia and you're experiencing them somewhere else in the world, it's because they've had to work really hard, and they're probably good. That's why you can't kind of decide to tour out of Australia if you're shit. Well, you can, and then you fail. That might be an advantage, one of those disadvantage advantages. By the time you get overseas, if you're an Aussie band, you're ready to work hard, and you don't really take things for granted. Israel Cavalaho. Cavallo. Sorry, terrible name. Have you guys considered making an acoustic album with the songs of your latest albums? Yes, we have. It's just time. Getting time to do stuff is difficult. Jay Snot sides. Would you like to somehow involve Misha or Devon in some future music? Yeah, shit yeah. But again, like the other question about dead people in the band, who would you get in the band if you could have anyone dead or alive? It's like, well, in that hypothetical, can I control them wanting to work with me? That part's always left out, because I mean, I could revive Jeff Buckley if I had the power to do so, and then be like, Jeff, I brought you back to life. Now, do you want to come and play in my band? And he'd be like, no. Nick Jenkinson, if you could record any cover song you wanted, what would it be? I'm already working on that. I'll leave that one unanswered. Frank Slodiskio, what's the one thing you absolutely hate in a venue? No toilet for the band. I fucking hate that. Because, like, if you're getting ready to play and you're going to walk out through the crowd and you just want to get in the zone and everyone's getting hammered and want to take selfies and you just want to take a piss, that's quite irritating. So I like it when there's a dunny in the backstage area. That's the one thing I hate. It's fucking annoying. It's also good if there's a shower in the venue when you're on tour, because often you play and then you have to get on a tour bus when you're stinky from playing a show. So I like to have a shower and a toilet. Parthen Shiv again. If you could go back in time, would you advise the 15-year-old Prodigy version, Stevic McKay, against ever getting his hair cut, picking up an electric guitar, or starting internet memes? I presume you're talking about the video with the footstool. 15-year-old me was already heading in that direction, so I'd have to go further back in time. And if I could choose when I could go back in time, I'd probably do other shit other than tell me to do something different. So no. Tal Peary, can I invite you guys for a dab session in my favourite coffee shop after your show in Harlem? Top quality weed guaranteed. Dab session. Dabbing. I don't know, I've never heard that term before. I'd have a coffee, but pot and me do not go together. Matt Clark, can you describe the writing process? Who's behind those dirty riffs? How are the lyrics written? How cohesive is it when jamming a new song, etc.? Basically just a breakdown of how the band works behind the scenes. It's probably not that interesting. It's probably more interesting to leave it mysterious. The writing process involves a lot of staring at the computer. Who's behind the dirty riffs? Depends which riffs you're talking about. How are the lyrics written? They're written in a multitude of ways now, but in the past, Ken wrote the lyrics pretty much in isolation. How cohesive is it when jamming a new song? Usually the song is completely finished before we learn it separately and then get together and play it, so it's quite antisocial. Choose between being a rhino-sized hamster or a hamster-sized rhino. I have to be a giant hamster or a tiny rhinoceros. Who's enforcing this? That's what I want to know, these hypotheticals. Who makes sure it happens? And why is there not a third alternative? What if I'm like, I don't want to choose either? Is that the only choice? How come when did I agree that they're the only two choices? Yes, questions for you. T-Bomb Troy, hey Stevic, I'd love to know, how do you know when a song or riff or whatever is done? I don't know when whatever is done. Where do you draw that line between working on an idea to make it the best it can be and overanalyzing it and wrecking the organic flow of the original idea? I don't know if I believe in organic flow. I don't really believe in magical, putting music creation on a magical kind of level. I sort of think there's inspiration and there's purpose. Like you have a point, something you want to communicate, and then you do whatever you can to build the piece so that it communicates that idea as efficiently as possible. So therefore, I think that Pat Patterson said something really good, is that when you write, you have to bring everything to the table, including your brain, because your brain is what makes you human. So I don't just write from an inspired, magical place. I tend to be very analytical. always. And I think it's I think I have OCD, and the D only kicks in when it's not ideal. Otherwise, the obsessive compulsiveness actually helps me fixate on details that maybe most people wouldn't give a fuck with, maybe. Most people wouldn't give a fuck with, maybe. Most people wouldn't give a fuck with, maybe. Daniel Forte, hey Stevic, when is 12-foot Minger going to get some more airtime? I would do a 12-foot Minger video every week if I could. But I think I'm more willing to make myself look stupid than the others. So hassle them about that. Ben Barwick, Stevic, 50% of people wipe their ass sitting down. 50% of people wipe their ass standing up. And one doesn't usually know that the other happens. That's true. Where do you stand or sit on this? Now, I'm one of those people that didn't know that people actually sit down and wipe their ass. I mean, maybe you get taught this, I don't know. So it's like you're either taught one way and you only learn that other way. I mean, I don't ever remember someone saying, hey, there's another way to do this. So it's like I inherited something. I didn't actually get to choose my method. The idea of sitting down to wipe your ass, that seems really fucking weird to me. That's kind of like, I reckon that's like trying to brush your teeth with your face pressed up against the wall. Like, why the fuck would you do it that way? Jonathan Martin, who has the stinkiest farts in the band? It depends, really. Depends on the diet. I mean, if you're on tour and dudes have been eating deep fried sausages that have been sitting in a Bain Marie for ages, then probably those ones. But from memory, the stinkiest farts on tour came from Max. He's our merch dude, and he does all sorts of stuff. Tour manager, guitar player, photographer, drone operator. His farts really stink, but I think that's because he's always eating crazy. No, I don't know why. I don't know why his farts stink. Steve Mullane, hey Stevic, I'd love to know the theory and decision-making process of how and what you guys decide to fuse together in your songs, like how you always manage to pick the perfect alternate genre to blend and the techniques you guys use to make it flow so organically. Thanks, Steve. I think a lot of people think that we're like Captain Planet, you know, like everyone, you've got that heart dude and the earth and the wind guy.
Let our powers combine. Earth. Fire! Wind! What? Heart!
Your powers combined. I am Captain Planet!
And we all come together and we make Captain Planet. It's not really how it works in 12-Foot Ninja. Colin Harold, what is a Stevic? What is a Colin? Dane, I can't pronounce that, Dane, I'm sorry. If you could create a dream band excluding all Ninja members, which musicians would you choose to fill the spots? All musicians can either be alive or resurrected from the grave with a little ghost. And you will count as the first guitarist. Well, I think my question would tie back to the earlier one about the whether you are a rhinoceros-sized hamster or a hamster-sized rhinoceros. Hey, who's enforcing this? What, like, how do I get this choice? And again, I mean, if I resurrect Jeff Buckley, for example, and I'm like, Jeff, I somehow managed to revive you, he'd be quite decomposed. There's a lot of detail missing here. Does somehow when he gets resurrected, he returns to his original peak condition? Or is he resurrected kind of as he is? Because then he might not be able to sing. So is the assumption is that if I resurrect them, that they can perform as they did? So that means maybe they do go back to their peak form. Do I get to choose when they, at what point? And then if I do that, and I've worked out this alchemy to bring these people back from the dead, I'd say I'd have a full-time gig doing that. I probably wouldn't have time to have a band. And people would know. They'd like, Stevic's in a new band with Jeff Buckley. Jeff Buckley's dead. No, he worked out a way to bring him back from the dead. But what about how he's decomposed? No, he had a way to get him back to normal there as well. And it's like, and he's playing in a band. You see what I mean? So that's a real complicated one. And then let's say that I ignored the fact that I could go around resurrecting, people and bringing them back to their peak condition, and I had all of that ability or technology somehow. How do I know? Is the inference that they'd be so grateful that I did that they would play in my band, and then they might be humoring me just because I kind of returned them to the earth? But what if it's considered? What if they come back evil? And then they're fucked, and I've opened a can of worms and everyone hates me, and they're like, you unleashed this apocalyptic event of psycho dead zombies onto the world just because you're a selfish bastard that wanted to play in a band with them, and they don't even like you. I think it's too complicated, mate. I don't know if I could go through with it. Glenn Fredericks, can you do product reviews and comparisons on pelvic floor exercisers? Anal probe sold separately. Glenn, you're an unusual man. I don't think I would do that. Fallon Carter, what's this thing? Wish keeps wanting me to buy. Serious question. On closer inspection, Fallon, I think that is a face hugger from the film Alien. I don't know if they're called face huggers, but it looks to me like you need to check out Alien.
My God.
What is odd is in your screen cap, I can see to the left there's like a doily, and to the right it appears there's a floral dress. I don't know what Wish is. Trending items. Okay, so people are buying a lot of doilies, a lot of floral dresses, and a lot of face huggers that appear to be sitting on plastic trees. So it is odd that you keep getting that. Good on you. I hope you've enjoyed episode 1 of Stevic's YouTube shit show. It's been real. It's been real. I hope you've enjoyed episode 1 of Stevic's YouTube shit show. Yeah, YouTube really has some shit shows, so I thought I'm gonna add to that pile of crap. The shittest show on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. I'm curious to know if the thing that I put the least effort into generates the most interest. Because yeah, I could make shit videos like this all day, and it's not too much trouble.
Epileptic fits. Who we got? Johnny Cage. I always thought he was shit. Don't like Sonia. Cassie Cage. The whole getting their kids in there is weird. Jax was pretty good. And his daughter. Fucking hell. Sub-Zero's cool. Is Sub-Zero's daughter there? Is that Sub-Zero's daughter? No, Jade. Zombie Jade. Yeah, fucking Kano's got a hairdo. Good on you, mate. I'm gonna fucking play Noob Sidebot.
Johnny Cage.
Yeah, I don't care what you're wearing, mate. Okay, I'm pumped. I'm gonna have another. What's this? It's like Van Damme shit.
Even legends pass.
Ha! You just called me a legend.
Not at all. Round 1, fight.
Okay, I need to take a sip of coffee.
Round 2, fight.
Yep. fuck, yeah. Do some shit. What about the old down back button? Oh shit! Yeah, and then he gets up. I just put a spike through his ear. Fuck yeah. What's that? Little somersault shit. Kicking the balls. Oh, I see that. Mike Tyson, that fucking green shit. Did he just say snap? Fuck you, man. Now what's that kick? What about this? Alright, we need to do some research. What do we got? Okay, heavy knuckles, yeah. Shadow poke. Shadow poke. Sounds a bit dodgy. Nick's calling me. Sorry, mate. I'm filming a. Let's take the call. Hey, g'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
You're in my YouTube video. I'm playing Mortal Kombat.
Fantastic.
I'm seeing how quick I can make a video. Right now, I'm learning Noob Cybot's moves.
Fantastic. Is that the new one? Mortal Kombat 11?
It is. It's Mortal Kombat 11.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm getting smashed.
Is it good?
Yeah, I've got a really. It's a high pressure situation with Johnny Cage. It's a deciding match.
Right.
And I need to learn some moves because I'm just button mashing a bit. So I'll call you back.
No worries, mate.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
Like anyway, all right. Come on, mate. Let's just do it.
Fight.
Oh, you fucking spiked me. Fuck you with that nutcracker. Smashed me with an Oscar.
Finish him.
That wasn't a fatality. Come on, what do you got? That's unsatisfying. I hate Johnny Cage. Alright, we're gonna play again. We're gonna play. I want my revenge.
Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
But you'd be co-starring with yours truly.
Exactly.
Alright, I'm gonna fucking kill you, Johnny Cage. Oh, they were pretty fancy fucking punches there. Come on, man, where's the fucking get over your shit? Oh, alright. Is this different? It's different buttons and shit than before, maybe. Alright, fuck it. What do we got? Yes! Oh! Nice! That's so sick. That was good. Suffer, shithead. Here's a beeper.
Round 2.
Look at the blood in the background. It's like a Fergus Hunt music video. Come on, dickhead! Oh, he just broke my arm.
I only need one take.
Okay, what about this? Yeah, that was something. Now I'm doing some magic shit. Huh? What do you think of that? Let's do that again. Let's go. Kick me in the balls. Bang! Fuckhead! Take my 5-foot. Yeah! Oh, we need to know how to do this. Probably going to be closed. Right trigger and B. Pressure. Right trigger and B. Right trigger and B. Come on. Oh, that was disappointing. That's the right trigger. gonna go over this pulsating thing. It's like a big nut sack. Oh, that was gross. That was kind of cool. Uh-oh. That's painful. But I won. After that. Shit. Yes. Oh, yes. Dang. That was pretty sick. Oh, he's got confidence now. Rocking that fist flat out. Fucking fist. Oh, okay, quick. Phasing through time anywhere. Hold right trigger and A. Does that mean hold right trigger and then hit A? Or peeling back? That's RT. I always get stressed out in this shit. All right. Doing it. I'm holding it. Right, I'm gonna have to redeem myself for these fatalities. I'm gonna cut to a fatality.
I can ice those green hands. That's one offer
I knew his voice would sound like that.
Your fever ends today.
Okay, I'm gonna get this ready. Does that mean he's sick? Alright. Oh, fucking hold right trigger and then A. Right trigger, A. They're all the same. What? I'm doing it. What the fuck is... I can't do fatalities in this. Did I just put him in a little backpack and fuck off? That's interesting. Alright, well that's Mortal Kombat 11. Don't know if that's entertaining to watch or not, but... Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ. He put his hands through portals with these sickle things and then ripped her apart through portals. That was good. Ripped her other skull front off. Oh, she's coughing. And her brain. Yes. It's pretty sick. Pulled her brain out and then he bit into it like an apple. Alright, that was good.
Subscribe. Bloody, now go, get off the computer. Go do something. Alright, bye.